I mean, the minister in particular, Solomon Dalong, has been involved in a lot of controversy, especially with regards to the Olympics, from comments he allegedly made against the football team for going to Atlanta without his permission, to the ticket scandal, where he also said, oh, it wasn't my fault, the NOC should have handled that, and athletes were begging for money online, you know, and just the general training, and, you know, a lot has happened. People have said, oh, he should have resigned by now, or the president should have sacked him by now.
Does anybody really resign in Nigeria?
Do you think these things are big enough to him to have left office, or is what's happening now okay?
It's not really about whether it is big enough. It's a question of, does anybody resign in Nigeria?
Should he have been fired?
Oh, that's another big question. And we must begin to see that body language on the part of Mr. President. We talked about Dogara earlier. For a president who has been literally, quote unquote, hand-picking people who attempt thieves and throwing them to court, we should have seen some sort of aggression on his part when he heard pardon, and then we must have seen that body language of, oh, I need to investigate what is happening here. And there's a lot of things that needs to change. We need to see wrong done, and then it is being questioned, and of course some be prosecuted, if I can use that word. So these are allegations. These incidences are more enough to have somebody, if not resigning, but being sanctioned. But then when no word is coming from the executive, it means that, well, it's just a normal thing to do, and it can keep happening over and over again.
Do we need to fix, I don't know how to put these words now, our ministerial appointment style? Is there a way they should be better vetted? I mean, we've seen a lot of times where people go to the National Assembly and they take a bow and go. Is that a problem? Do you think the president doesn't do enough of his homework before he appoints people? What do you think is the issue?
Well, given the time it took for Mr. President to come up with his ministerial list, I don't think time would be a factor. But I also think that the political system of Nigeria is not helping things. The fact that when you become president, it's about time to settle all those who worked with you, you know, while you were campaigning. And the case of Mr. President is quite different. I mean, quite unique, because he's tried several years, and then you can begin to imagine the number of people that he owes that portfolio. So it's more of a deeper, you know, challenge that runs through the root of the way we run government in Nigeria.
Now, I want to talk specifically now about the competitions now. And I know you're not a sports analyst, but I'm sure you're in Nigeria, and Nigerians do love their sports, especially football. We're playing Germany next.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a tough game. Most people are not trying to stick their necks out to spread anything, even though we like to be very hopeful and we say, we've won the gold already. You know, what are your impressions of the team so far and what we're going to be doing?
Well, I wouldn't want to say they've been fantastic, but then, just like in every other game, that element of luck has also been favoring the Nigerian team, especially the first game. Nigerians were expecting, they arrived just 7 hours before that match, and then we're going to see a lot of fatigue on the field of play. But Nigerians, you know, just like we do, that fighting spirit, they push you to the wall, and you keep going deep. And we saw them fight on to win the first game, and then they won the second. I think they lost the third. Amazing performance against Denmark, and then all of that history, that short history in the Olympics, is enough to say that they're going to put a fight against Germany. Whether they will win that game or not, we might have to just wait to see. But it's a good thing for our team to get a medal from the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think it will give us...
That's a very important point, because I mean, the London 2012 Olympics was probably one of our lowest points in history, where we went and came back with absolutely nothing. Coming from a history of, I mean, we've not had the most, the best Olympic history. We can't run away from that. But I mean, we had a good Olympics in Atlanta, then we went to Sydney, then we went to Beijing. I mean, 1 or 2 medals have always come in. London was a complete low. Do you see us stopping that? I mean, there's no way you can't go lower than that anyways.
The chances
or do you think we're going to repeat that?
The chances are high with football. If we lose in the semi-final, we're probably going to be playing for a 3rd place, and then it's hopeful.
There's some hope there.
There's some hope there, and I'm sure the boys also understand the economic situation back in Nigeria. Nigerians need some things to cheer about, and that's the expectation at this time. And you know, the thing about Nigeria, interestingly, perhaps why we are so dogged and we keep going on, is because we have a lot of distraction. Is that you're talking about the headline papers, you're talking about what's happening in the National Assembly, or you're watching football and you're gunning for the dream team. So I am hopeful that they will come back with something.
Yeah.
If not the gold, maybe a bronze.
Well, we're rooting for them, of course. Besides football, there's a lot. There's Miriam Usman is going to be out this night in weightlifting. It's one of our strong points. I don't know if she's going to get a medal, but she's definitely a contender. So we're looking forward to that as well. We also have Efia Jagba in boxing. We have the wrestling. So let's hope we do definitely better than London, because London was a huge deal. But let's moving away from sports now, and going back to security or the lack of it. One of the hottest boiling points of this administration so far has been the Biafra issue. The IPOB, Independent People of Biafra, have continued to have protests and making serious calls for secession, if I may use those words. And we've also had a few people being killed as a result, where protests have become violent and maybe the police or soldiers or people have clashed and lives have been lost. But central to all of this has been Nnamdi Kanu, who is the founder of this organization, and he has been in detention for a couple of months now. But we're hearing from him now. He says he's ready to negotiate with the federal government if that would let him get his freedom. It's a new sign for a lot of people, but a lot of his followers are still saying no negotiations. We'll stand by what we stand. I don't know. How do you think this is going to play out?
You said the idea or the ideology behind Biafra transcends beyond Nnamdi Kanu as a person or as an individual. It's very unfortunate what happened decades ago, where over 1 million Nigerians lost their life, and quite a number of them injured, maimed, talking about children and women. And it's deeply seated in that division that has cut across our political history as a nation. The question really is, has Nigeria done justice to what happened way back in time? It's a question that we must answer. And then for Nnamdi Kanu, who's saying is ready to negotiate, he's in custody, facing trial. I don't know whether he stands a chance to negotiate, but I think it's a clarion call, given the waves of protest in southeastern Nigeria that followed his arrest, and the number of deaths that we have recorded already. It's a pointer to a thinking and a genuine leadership to begin to go back to the tables and begin to talk about how do we settle this part of the country, if indeed we want to keep staying together. I mean, we're talking about people complaining about being marginalized, not feeling a sense of belonging. It's a huge interest angle that a true nation must consider. And it's not just peculiar to Nigeria. There are other nations who are saying, oh, we want to move out of this territory, and then they go and put it to vote, and peacefully they go their way. So, but beyond just forcefully keeping a part of Nigeria in Nigeria, I think it's more important that we consider what are the yearnings of these people,
and how do we
resolve them.
Well, thank you very much, Nifemi. It's been a very interesting conversation, and thanks for being here today. And I hope you've also enjoyed watching the show. Well, like I always say, you can follow the conversation on Twitter at YNigerTV is the handle. The hashtag to follow is Rubbin Minds. You can also visit the website yniger.tv. Remember, you've never seen young people talk like this before. I'll see you next time.
Just let's go. So let's dance now. It is my turn. Just walk